Well, hello. That was a little piece of a song I have called "Are You Listening," which might be the new name of this eventually. Excuse me while I turn back, put my guitar down for a second. And yes, that was through a Weber Signature 8S speaker. Let's see what it looks like. This. That's their Alnico Signature 8S speaker. And anyway, I'm back. So we're going to talk a little tone and things like that. Hopefully, in the near future, I'll have either a Weber glass or a Weber t-shirt to wear when I do these things. For now, we'll have to settle for 3 owls. Hoo. So anyway, I'm pretty excited. That's an 8-inch speaker. And of the 3 Weber speakers that I own, and I own that 8-inch, I own a 10-inch, and I own a 12-inch. And the 12-inch one I own is one of their greatest speakers. Not that there isn't, but you know, it's like the Celestian Bluebell speaker. Incredible. They call it theirs the Blue Dog. And I like the Blue Dog a lot. Mine's in hemp, and so I like it a lot. Anyway. So in recent weeks, one of the reasons that got me started was that Weber speakers started putting out more hemp cone speakers, and I happen to prefer hemp to paper. Whether it's hemp or paper, Weber makes great speakers. So I get what they put out on Instagram, and apparently they're kind of putting the final touches on their 8-inch hemp cones, which means that there will be 8-inch hemp speakers available from Weber soon. You know, at least a selection of their 8-inch speakers. And I can't imagine, and whatever they put out would be one of those speakers I would buy. Probably the only speaker that I would not use for myself, but I can see how it might be a favorite of others, is their O series, which allows for easier distortion. Since I like a lot of clean tone, although I put some dirt in, I use my Soul Food pedal by Electro Harmonix just to put a little dirt in the sound that I opened with. And but I'm really excited because Weber is putting out new hemp cone 8-inch speakers, and I have wanted a Weber 8-inch hemp cone speaker. The only hemp cone speaker I have is a Patriot 8-inch speaker from Eminence. And I was very glad to get it because it was the only 8-inch hemp cone, I guess maybe besides Tone Tubby. But Eminence is a very, very good speaker company, and they probably they meet the needs of a lot of people's ideas of what a speaker should sound like. For me, once I heard Weber, everything else just sounded a little flat, just not as articulate as I like it. To say that their speakers have no articulation would be ridiculous, but the epitome of articulation, to hear what I'm playing and also for what I'm playing to be articulated correctly, I just find there is no better speaker for that than the speakers that Weber puts out. So when I get a few more speakers, but I'm also working out on how to record these. Somebody left a comment on the re-edited Weber video that I put up a few days ago. I put one up, almost 2 weeks ago, not quite, and it needed editing. I'm so used to kind of speaking a little off the cuff and not trying to really do something that has, like, I guess, a veneer of professionalism, because I really would like to get people interested in Weber and have that lead to some sales for them, because I like the company. And I think it would, if I'm trying to help them, I can help them better if I put out slightly cleaner and more concise and less verbiage type of videos. So that's beginning here, but I did it with my last video. I cut out 11 minutes of it. One of the things I didn't like about editing, because I started it in the past, is whatever video editor I have, maybe it's how I'm putting the resolutions. I've done my best to duplicate them. But if I start out with like a 250 megabyte video, like in the last case, I had a video that was a little under 250 megabytes. I took out 11 minutes of it, so I took content out of the video, and I still ended up, and after the reprocessing, it was almost a half a gig. It was almost 500 megabytes. So it over doubled in size, even though I had made it a shorter video. So I don't know if that's just the software itself or how I'm using it, but I just decided that a larger video means it takes me longer to upload. Well, it's not like I don't have maybe that extra, sometimes an extra hour. I have a very humble thing. Anyway, I'm getting off a track here. Who knows? No, I don't want to cut this out. because this is part of why I edited the video. And this one's going to be relatively short. Somebody left a comment on that re-edited video and said, oh, I'd really love to hear Weber speakers live. And I'm not exactly sure what live means. Now, if live means, like I'm in the same room as the speaker, well, that is something I wouldn't know how to do without having a concert or, a show. Concerts. A little something, I think, beyond my current capabilities to even generate by a long shot. But I would, so that's, anyway, I hooked up my little 8-inch speaker. I figure if I'm going to do, at least a little soundbite, I'll do a short video, just a few things of my own songs on the 8-inch speaker. And then I can do the one that's actually in my amp. I'm using my Super Champ amp to drive the Weber speaker. The other Weber speaker in the amp is currently disconnected, so I can run the singular speaker. The amp I have is rated at 15 watts. The speaker that I have in there is rated at 15 watts. So it's not the kind of speaker you'd want to drive with all of that power. But it sounds very nice. And like I said, I'll play I'll play my own stuff. Largely because this way here, I don't have to worry about getting any hits. I hear other people play other people's material, but it's just, who knows? Sometimes you're not doing anything wrong, but somebody's had their eye on you, and they go, oh, we can do it. Not that I think anybody has their eye on me. So anyway, one of the commenters said, can you let us hear a speaker live? So basically, the main gist of this video would be just to play a few little pieces, just so you can hear that speaker behind me. I'll probably get out of the way, or at least be sideways. Most people, when they record, they have a mic right over the speaker. Now, for certainly with sound reinforcement, like if you're on a stage, that is, you want your mic to be picking up the direct speaker. But in this case, I'm trying to emulate what it might be to be in the same room as the speaker. And generally, when you hear a speaker in a room, you are not right on top of it the way a mic would be. And I do have a decent mic. I have an AKG Perception Mike. It needs phantom power, and it's not a diaphragm mic. So it picks up things pretty nice. Let me turn off my my soul food. I have a little bit of Hall of Fame reverb on there. I can now turn it up the volume because I don't have the overdrive. So first, I guess I'll turn off the reverb so you can hear it dry. Okay, it's not really overdriving, and I do have my guitar all the way open. So I'll use a little pick here. So just little finger picking. Now, an interesting anecdote. One night when I was beginning my research for building guitar amps, which is one of the things I want to do, and probably be using Weber kits. Weber has excellent guitar kits of many of the famous amplifiers by, I guess, Marshall, Vox, and Fender, except they have them by the different names. They don't quite call them that. And so as I was looking for video clips of a specific amp, I kept on getting a lot of video clips of a Champ amp. A Champ amp is a very simple, usually 7-watt amp that Fender made. It's one of the first amplified things, so it is a lot. And they're different than certain tube amps. There's different kinds of tubes. There's Class A and Class B. So anyway, the Champ amp is a Class A. And it's kind of known for its even order harmonic distortion, so a lot of people like to play it distorted. And a lot of people who were playing it, who were kind enough to put up their YouTube videos, sometimes they're rough players. So I was going and listening to a lot of these demos, and it was kind of like the same overdriven, whatever. And I wasn't lasting long. Finally, I saw somebody, and this is I guess it's the 5F1, I think, is the serial number of the Champ. And so they call them clones because they're not made by Fender. And so one said, with a Weber speaker. And I kid you not, as soon as I put it on, I mean, all the other Champs had, and they're all kind of coming through a regular, computer microphone. And all of the Champs largely sounded the same because it's basically the same amp, and they're kind of going through a standard speaker. It could be of any make. And then I finally get to the exact same amp. The only difference between all these other amps, and the player was not a more skilled player either. The only difference was that he had a Weber speaker in the cabinet, and it was it wasn't. I found a lot of the other ones to be a little bit overdriven. And when things are overdriven, they can be a little bit tiresome to listen to. This you could tell that he had the same basic drive on, but the sound was so much richer. The richness of the harmonic distortion that these little Class A amps are known for, to me, was actually able to be heard in the Weber speaker, because they're clearer. Like certain speakers will say that their speakers are rich in harmonics. When you have a Class A amp that's putting out a specific class of harmonics, in this case even order harmonics, and if then you putting it through a speaker that is rich in harmonics, you might end up with harmonics that were not in your original signal. Where if you're playing with like a Weber speaker, which is high in articulation, and basically reproducing the sound that you give it, these rich, even order harmonic distortions that often sounded kind of ratty to me. When the same exact amp was played through a Weber speaker, it was pleasant. It was still broken up. It was still that distortion, but the distortion now had a musicality to it rather than just being rich in harmonics. So, a Weber 8-inch Alnico. Matter of fact, here's once again. Let me just show it to you. There it is. It can be yours on Weber, $55. And they also make it in. And I happen to prefer Alnico speakers in most cases. They also make a ceramic version that is less. How much less? Take a look. Actually, when you have the smaller ones, the ceramic version of the same speaker is $37. So there you go. So let's see what kind of sounds I can make. Please understand that I'm trying to demonstrate the speaker, but we also have the player, and I'm a bass player, not a guitar player. I mean, I can play guitar, obviously. Oh, now. I'm playing a Fender standard Telecaster, very nice, original pickups. I'm now going to open my tone. For those of you who might not know these things, there's 2 different pickups, so you can source your sound from different pickups. And then you have a selector of both pickups, one or the other, one volume for both of them, and one tone for both of them. And when I played the original part, I had rolled some of the treble off of my tone. And now I have all the treble up because I want you to kind of hear everything. If I roll off the tone, it'll make the speaker sound darker. So I want the speaker to sound like it sounds. So let's see. So this is both pickups. And I'll just play a little kind of like a... So that's one little song. I have my volume basically wide open. Now on the front pickup, to kind of cut some of that treble a little bit, the same chords. And then on the really trebly pickup. Now I hope I'm going to, before I put this out, I'll make sure I'm not overdriving everything and making it sound like shit. But, and let's see. I'm going to strum a little bit without a pick. Turn down the volume a little bit. Turn it up a little bit. So this is largely not a demonstration of the Weber speaker per se, and I should get my back out of it. Let me try that again with my back not in the way. And I'm going to roll the treble back a little bit because that was a little bright. I'm going to try to keep my tuner out of my cup. And that was what you call a mistake in a song. So, anyway, that's going to be the end of this one. And stay there. So that'll be the end of this. I just really wanted to promo the fact that there's going to be new Weber speakers, new 8-inch hemp Weber speakers coming out, which I'm very excited about. And because one of the commenters said, you know, I want to hear the speaker. So that's one speaker. That's the littlest one. That thing sounds really incredible when it's overdriven. Oh yeah, that one other, I remember there were two amp-related things I wanted to talk about. The Weber 8-inch speaker, whether it's the signature, and there's like kind of one, there's other 8-inch speakers, but I mean, you know, they're absolute, the beginning of their kind of speaker line. They now have 6-inch speakers, but the 8-inch speakers. And there is a Champ amp, the very same amp I spoke about earlier, that Fender sells now, and it's hand wired, so it's boutique. This little 7-watt amp by Fender is $1,000, $99.99, you know. And what speaker did they choose to put in their boutique amp? A Weber 8-inch speaker. They put in their $1,000 Champ amp, and I think that kind of says it all. So anyway, that's it for Mystic Muse, possibly to be Are You Listening in the future, and I'll see you next time.